He never expected the debt collectors to track him down. It turned out Mike's father had racked up $30,000 in debt, but now he was hospitalized with heart disease. Fortunately, they caught it just in time, and were able to save him, but now he urgently needed heart bypass surgery, and the $60,000 cost was giving him a massive headache. Mike approached the bank manager, hoping to get a year's salary in advance, but he was just a contract worker. Given his situation, the bank couldn't help him out. To get his father's surgery done as quickly as possible, he had no choice but to turn to a loan shark. Although his father's surgery was successful, he was now drowning in massive debt. Even though Mike now had money, whether he could actually withdraw it was still unknown. He knew if these guys caught him, he'd definitely get beaten to a pulp. Seeing the two men had already broken down his door, Mike panicked and jumped out the window to escape. After diving into a taxi, both sides began a high-speed chase through the streets. In this emergency situation, Mike still had to figure out how to safely withdraw the money. First, he definitely couldn't do a direct transfer, because that would leave a paper trail. Too risky. Second, ATMs have daily withdrawal limits, so the only option was to go to the teller window in person. Drawing on his knowledge of banking procedures, Mike forged a company email to confirm in advance that someone would be coming to withdraw money. At that moment, the debt collectors behind them had pulled out guns, but the driver didn't panic. Seeing bullets flying past, he actually drove even faster. After some extreme maneuvering, they finally reached the bank entrance first. He walked up to the counter trying to look calm, and the manager had the cash ready in advance, but unexpectedly they asked him to show ID. Although Mike didn't have any proper documents, he had forged a photo ahead of time. When they saw his work badge, the manager stared at it expressionlessly for what felt like forever. Who would have thought? He actually managed to fool them. Mike finally got his hands on the stolen money, but just as he took 2 steps away, the manager called him back again. Mike instantly tensed up. He thought he'd been caught, and turned around trembling. It turned out the manager just wanted him to count the bills in front of them, since anyone withdrawing money would naturally count it. Mike relaxed considerably. He said he trusted the bank wouldn't cheat him, and then hurried toward the exit. Just like that, Mike successfully withdrew the $95,000 in cash. He not only paid off all the high-interest loans, but also covered his father's surgery costs. Who knew that the very next day when Mike arrived at work, he saw news that the bank president had been shot and killed. To investigate the cause of his death, security personnel immediately locked down all exits of the bank, and began checking the president's computer and everyone he'd been in contact with. Mike panicked when he saw this, because yesterday's virus-infected email to the president was still on his computer. Once the email was discovered, they could trace the IP address right back to Mike's house, so he had to clear the virus from the president's computer before the police found it. Just then, suddenly a janitor rushed into the bathroom. Looking at the phone in the man's backpack, Mike suddenly had a bold idea.